You want a little hope, you want a little love, you want a lot of pride in the Bay Area, we've got it for you. A beautiful day here in San Francisco as we kick off Pride Month, and we are doing it from the ground and the sky. We've got this beautiful drone shot of the Pride flag over the iconic Castro neighborhood. It's a wonderful day. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Reed Cowan, our entire news team, so proud to be your community station, bringing the stories of your activism, your advocacy, and your work to be a community home to you. Now let's talk about that. We have video from all over the Bay Area. You know, you've got the beautiful Pride flag here at Harvey Milk Plaza, but we also can see that cities and counties all across the Bay Area are raising that Pride flag today. You will see it all over the Bay in the days ahead. This is video from Belmont, Redwood City, and Daly City earlier today, all of them in San Mateo County, which is planning their first Pride Parade on June 10th in beautiful San Mateo. And also over the bridge, our friends raised the flag in Oakland today. Listen.
We say gay! We say gay! Woo!
And you know, they're chanting "We Say Gay" as a response and a counterpoint to the national narrative that we'll be talking about in this show and in broadcast throughout the day and then in coverage throughout the month. Oakland, by the way, celebrating Pride for more than 10 years.
For miles around, you can see the flag on the top of Oakland City Hall. And so this is a beautiful moment. This is a moment of celebration, and it's also a moment of standing up and sending a message that we won't back down to hate.
All right, so that is from Oakland, but you know, not everybody is on board, and we know there are varying perspectives here in the Bay Area and across the country. Take, for instance, in Solano County, the city of VACAVILLE, some controversy there as that city comes under scrutiny. The Solano Pride Center claiming that VACAVILLE delayed recognizing Pride Month. So VACAVILLE's mayor was asked about that. He says he didn't refuse to recognize Pride Month, but needed time to review the city's flag policy and previous proclamations. He does say he plans to issue a proclamation. And then, of course, well, this was a brouhaha coming out of L.A., the back and forth in baseball between the L.A. Dodgers and the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Well, that charity out there, they were a group that was removed from Dodgers Pride Night celebration over opponents that claimed that they mocked the Catholic faith. But after a lot of pushback and LA Pride getting on board and getting behind the sisters, they changed their mind. They said they're going to start involving the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence in response and narrative building in the days, weeks, months, and years ahead as the LA Dodgers does what they say they'll do, and that is to continue to evolve. You know, drag is definitely coming on fire all over the United States. And as we come out of AAPI month, we've got my friend Ryan Yamamoto here. Nice to have you with me once again.
Great to be here.
You have that wonderful intersection of AAPI month and Pride with the Rice Rockettes. Drag is joy, drag is art, and your story airs tonight at 5 o'clock.
I'll have Estee Longa's story and the Rice Rockettes story tonight at 5.
You better get back in a car, my friend. Get back to set. Thank you, Ryan, so much. I love the moment Ryan came running into my office saying, we've got to profile the Rice Rockettes. They're so important. So that story tonight at 5. And then, you know, we have a whole month of coverage planned. Our news team has been at work since the first of the year, making sure that your stories make air. You know, first of all, we're going to be talking to a roller derby league and how important it is to the women in our community and also our trans community. There's a twist to this story, a chance for you to really step up and be a good community member and make sure that they have a practice facility where they can practice. Then, of course, we know that Mpox, when it broke out here and all over the country, the Bay Area leadership really jumped in using playbooks that were written back in the days of the HIV and AIDS crisis. They were able to quickly mobilize and help people get those vaccinations. And now, as the new warning comes out from the CDC that Mpox may have another spike in cases, we're going to be talking about ways that you can protect yourself and your health. Then, of course, after the break, we'll be talking to our great friends with SF Pride about not only the tone and what's going on in our country right now where drag and trans issues are concerned, but also the great celebration here. We're also mindful that kids in rural America, they tune in, they watch what we do here in San Francisco, and they say, somewhere there's a place for me and to keep hope alive. And then Liz, I got to brag about you, my friend. You came in and said to me, there's somebody we've got to profile as we look at trans issues in our country. I'm going to let you take that.
Proudly presented by Pet Food Express and Broadway San Jose.
Live here in the iconic Castro neighborhood, and of course the centerpiece of the Castro. Aside from the people who have lived here and used this as a platform for advocacy and activism, of course, we're looking at the Castro Theater. Manny's presents an evening with Jane Fonda tonight, and let me tell you, stay tuned to Channel 5. You'll see Jane Fonda live at 6 o'clock. All right, so coming back over here to Harvey Milk Plaza, I'm standing underneath a sign that says, "Hope will never be silent." No matter where you stand on these issues that affect our LGBTQ plus community, we know that we need a little more hope, a little more love, and a whole bunch more pride in our world. And you know, people who are making pride happen this year are our friends Suzanne and Win with SF Pride. Hello, thank you for coming down here. Did you bring the wind?
I did, Reed, just for you.
Just to make the beautiful hair move, that's right. Okay, so we know that this takes a year or more to plan. Tell us about the highlights.
The highlight will be going down Market Street when you see that culmination of all the work and you know everybody's out there and you get that enormous feeling of joy from the crowd. That, for me, that's the apex.
We need to add the word joy to Hope, Love, Pride in our motto. So this is also happening in a time when in our nation we're seeing record anti-drag, anti-trans legislations and moves. What will we see that addresses that?
So you're right that we're seeing a vicious wave of attacks against our communities' histories, our books, our art forms, and our healthcare. So to combat that, we're going to be viciously fabulous back. We're going to show the world what SF Pride has always been doing now for 53 years. That we're going to bring joy and we're going to inspire love because we know that only love will drive out hate.
And you know, I'm always mindful. I'm a kid from Roosevelt, Utah, and I'm always mindful that somewhere in rural America there's a kid watching, logging on, and they're seeing how we do it in San Francisco. Does that ever hit you and really touch your heart?
I've been saying it all year this year. It's so important this year. There are going to be those kids like I was out in these red states that will be watching, and they'll see San Francisco Pride and they'll know that there's one place in the United States that they know if they get there they can find their people, and that's why it's so important to come out this year.
You know, we truly do stand on the shoulders of people who had it a lot more difficult than we did. I'm mindful of the gatherings when Harvey Milk put the milk box down and said, "I am here to recruit you." Do you still feel those words at SF Pride?
We still certainly do, and we're not doing it alone. Just today, we finally announced very exciting news, our Celebrity Grand Marshal, as well as our headliners for this year's celebration.
Do we need a drum roll?
I think that'd be appropriate. And these are people who have allied themselves with our cause so that they can promote our message of joy and love. And if I can share them right now.
Please do. Breaking here on Channel 5. Go ahead.
So for headliners, we have two amazing vocalists. They're both openly queer. One is Haley Kiyoko, who is very famous for Girls Like Girls, so she'll be headlining on Saturday. And on Sunday, our headliner is going to be Princess Nokia, who is very, very famous for many, many reasons, an out and proud queer rapper, very famous for my favorite song, which is Sugar Honey, Iced Tea. That's as much as I can probably say on network TV. And our Celebrity Grand Marshal is Jake Borelli, who is the openly queer actor on Grey's Anatomy. He also plays an openly queer doctor named Dr. Levi Schmidt. And we're just so thrilled that we have these three out and proud queer luminaries that are ushering the next generation of queer activism and advocacy.
And it's not just as we approach the Pride Parade. You have events programmed starting tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yes. Right at the Castro Theater, we'll have the first SF Pride kickoff. It's going to be a night of queer entertainment. We're going to have excerpts from the Compton's Cafeteria Riot play. We're going to have films like Mrs. Vera's Daybook. We're going to have a great singer. Tori will be with us. So it's going to be a fabulous night. We want the community to come out. Tickets are $20. However, if you go to sfpride.org and look for the tickets there, if you don't have the $20, we still want you to come, so no one will be turned away.
And you know, I always say this all the time when we do our community initiatives at CBS Bay Area, we need each other, right?
We do.
To the person who's the naysayer, who might be watching right now through that camera lens, what do you say about hope, love, and pride from the Bay Area?
I say that you can come be a part of it. Don't just sit there and watch. Come be a part of it. And if you're sitting there thinking like I do sometimes, oh my God, all this legislation, all this hate, is there anything I can do? You can come be with us. Let's be a community and be together.
Start the dialogue. Ask questions. It's okay to ask questions, especially if you do it in that spirit. Thank you both so much.
Thank you, Reed.
I know you're going to wear out these shoes this month. It's going to be a busy month, so we appreciate you making time for us. Thank you so much, my friends. Okay, so we've got the drone back up in the air for that beautiful shot of the Pride flag here. Harvey Milk Plaza overlooking the Castro neighborhood, and it's just going to be a wonderful, wonderful month. All right, now as we look at that drone and we see the winds whipping here, I'm going to blame my friend Paul. Paul, talk to us about the weather. Is this wind going to maybe calm down a little bit?
Eventually, as the sun goes.
Thank you so much, Paul. And by the way, you hit the right button because the wind died down a little bit and it got a little bit warmer out here. Hey, coming up as we celebrate Hope, Love, Pride and the kickoff to Pride Month here in the Bay Area, we're going to be talking to Sister Roma about that, well, the opposition that came from the LA Dodgers and what's going on in our country relative to drag and the art form that entertains so many people. That's coming up. Then a reminder, you can always watch our newscast anywhere, anytime on CBS News Bay Area, our streaming service where you can always find the latest weather, sports, traffic, and of course your headlines. We'll be right back. And you know, these are the days that feel good because they are quintessential San Francisco, quintessential Bay Area. We are, of course, proud to kick off as your community station day one of Pride events and festivities that are happening not only here in the Bay Area, in our state of California, but all over the United States. And we know that these celebrations are happening at a time when drag is in the headlines. You know, you can't go to Mission Dolores Park and see an event or down here in the Castro and see an event without seeing Sister Roma, of course, one of the main figureheads of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. And we know that they had the opposition from the LA Dodgers for a time. The sisters asked to not perform after they were first invited. Well, that invited a lot of response from the LGBTQ plus community all over the state, all over the country. The LA Dodgers saying that they are going to now start talking to our drag community and making them involved in the process, and so the dialogue continues. But is it safe to perform drag? We see drag performers all the time saying they're starting to see people show up at their shows. Here's what Sister Roma had to say about that.
I've been on the main stage at San Francisco Pride for many, many years, and when you stand in front of 100,000 people and you have feathers on your head, you're like, am I a sitting duck? You know, you have to really consider the fact that there are crazy people, and we live in a world where gun violence is an atrocious prevalence. So yeah, sometimes we have to think about those things, but I'm never going to let those people control me, because if I am too afraid to come out and live my authentic life and do the service that I'm called to, then they've already won.
Sister Roma saying it's a service. Her art is a service, and you will definitely be seeing Sister Roma featured heavily in Pride festivities all throughout the month. And you know what? We know you are out there with your camera phones on social media. It's our joy to see you post what you think about this day and this month. As you post, please do so. Hashtag KPIX, hashtag Hope, Love, Pride, and Pride 2023. That helps us to be able to see your posts throughout the month and show them on television. All right, we'll be back from Harvey Milk Plaza live after this break. Welcome back, your community station live from the Castro. Down here on the ground, it's a celebration, but also in the sky as we look at this huge Pride flag. The Pride flag, by the way, is going to be replaced with a new one in the coming days and hours. And you know, this shot definitely reminds us of the fact that there's some history to this place. There's some history to the Castro. Harvey Milk putting that milk crate down, saying, "My name is Harvey Milk and I'm here to recruit you." And of course, the words that we remember throughout our Pride Month: hope will never be silent. And that's why your Bay Area community station calls what we do the next month Hope, Love, and Pride. We'll see you back here at 5 o'clock.
San Francisco's Castro district. This is along Market and Castro, just above Harvey Milk Plaza.
Look at all those rainbow flags, and that's where we find our Reed Cowan right now. Reed, how's it going out there?
It is a very nice day here. We got a little bit of wind and a lot of smiles. And if you're looking for a little hope, love, and pride, we've got it here from Harvey Milk Plaza. Your community station, CBS Bay Area, has a whole month of very special coverage. And just to sort of set the scene here, you can see people here lining up to go to the Castro Theater for a very special event, an evening with Jane Fonda. We can talk about that here in just a minute. But right now, it's a vibrant feeling, a chance to really talk about community and see the issues right up front and see how people are confronting the issues. You know, it's been a difficult year for drag, difficult year for trans issues, and of course San Francisco's response to the Mpox outbreak. We'll be talking about that all upcoming in the show. But Ryan Yamamoto, as my grandma used to say, I heard tell, you've got a great story on a local institution.
Back to Reed Cowan for a look at what else to expect throughout the month of June. It's going to be a big one, Reed.
Yes, it is. And to scaffold off of what Ryan was talking about, highlighting and celebrating the Rice Rockettes, you know, a great American icon named RuPaul once said, "We're all born naked, and the rest is drag." And so it was our honor to bring that story. You know, CBS News Bay Area is your community station, and we have so many stories. It's so important to us that you see yourself in our coverage. We want to make sure that when you tune in, you see your community reflected. And all of this month, our news team is proud to really reflect back to you, the people in the LGBTQ+ community and their allies. Liz, you had a great story. Let's roll some video. We know that right now the narrative in our country is very anti-trans. Our trans neighbors are really being put through the paces and having to answer for their lives and what feels right to them. Well, we have a leader in our own community who has risen to the heights, who has gotten beyond all of the difficulty, and you will see her story. Liz Cook has that for you a little bit later in the month. And then, of course, there's much to celebrate. Of course, activism equals people getting involved when there's a problem in our community. You know, that's what we do. We step forward when there's a problem. And of course, San Francisco, one of the early activists when Mpox, or monkeypox as it was called at the beginning of the outbreak, came to our community and to the world, rallied so quickly, and we'll be able to show you that story as well and celebrate your good neighbors who saw a problem, step forward to fix it. And then, of course, there is a call always during Pride Month for getting involved and helping people. We have a roller derby here in the Bay Area. They are wonderful. They are helpful to many ladies in our community and the trans community. And so that story is going to air and give you an opportunity to help save the place where they practice. Definitely something so important for the people who benefit from it. But down here on the ground, it's beautiful. Up in the sky, looking at our drone shot of the beautiful Pride flag. This is how we kick off Pride Month at CBS News Bay Area. Not only this month of Pride, but you know, it's been amazing to watch. Slowly but surely, drag is becoming a part of mainstream American culture. Of course, we know about that major show that's a hit all over the world, RuPaul's Drag Race, one of our Paramount Viacom properties that we offer to viewers. And I had a chance to talk to a judge for RuPaul's Drag Race and one of the contestants about what drag and the art of drag means to them.
Drag is important because, unlike any other art form, it allows artists to express themselves by transforming what's outside to reveal what lies within.
Drag matters because drag is art, drag is expression, drag is love, and I want y'all to bring that into Pride Month.
And you know what? It has been an honor to follow not only national drag queens that have risen to fame, but also local drag queens. We would be very remiss if we didn't mark this occasion to say that not long ago, San Francisco lost one of its drag icons, Heckelina. In fact, it was just last week that a huge crowd of people showed up to pay tribute to the work that Heckelina did, creating a community through her artistry of drag. Definitely something that we will be talking about this month as CBS Bay Area, your community station, talks about all the issues that are facing the LGBTQ+ community and their allies. Have to remember the allies. And of course, as we take this drone shot live over Harvey Milk Plaza and the Castro Theater, talking about allies, Jane Fonda is going to be appearing at the Castro Theater behind me. You can already see the people lining up there for that event, and we are lucky, lucky, lucky. We get a chance to interview her live. You'll see that live at the top of the 6 o'clock broadcast. We hope you stay tuned to hear what she has to say about being an ally and an advocate during difficult times. Back to you.
Reed, how do you have so many connections and friendships with so many famous people?
You know, two things. I have a two-part strategy. First of all, I say, don't you know who I think I am? And second, I say, you know, Ryan Yamamoto has my cell phone number, and they just hop to it. They say, Jane Fonda, Dolly Parton, whoever you want.
They say, Ryan who? Thank you very much. Reed Cowan reporting live in the Castro.